When it comes to discarded military kit, the US Air Force has its so-called Boneyard in the desert, but the UK has this hangar. There are more than 50,000 artifacts stored here, out of sight and out of mind, but not forgotten.
It's when you know you don't have a normal job, when you go, oh, I'll just move the nuclear bomb out the way to get to the other thing. This box contains 100 rounds. That's 1 second's worth of ammunition. You don't want to be downrange when that goes off.
This is MOD Stafford. Inside is a treasure trove of engineering military enthusiasts can only dream of. This looks really impressive. Tell me what it is we're looking at and just how capable is this?
What we've got here is a Bristol Hercules engine. This is probably the second most utilised engine in the RAF during the Second World War. It's used on a number of aircraft, like the Beaufighter, the Stirling and the Halifax. And what it is a 14-cylinder radial engine, and it's got a rather unusual feature.
And we can actually see that in action, can't we?
We can, because I can switch this on and it can go round. You might notice that this sleeve has moved around to uncover a few ports round here. That's where the mixture of fuel and air from the carburettor has now gone into the cylinder. The piston has gone down and drawn it all in, and now it will be squeezing it. A spark plug will spark, make the explosion, and the piston comes down. And when the piston comes back up, the exhaust will come out the front here. So this sleeve is not just going up and down, but it's going from side to side to make sure that these ports are uncovered. And as I say, that's the unusual feature of this engine. You're looking at roughly about 1,590 horsepower. So that's quite impressive for the time.
This archive is from the last 100 years and contains anything from memorabilia to aircraft and its weaponry. It's a capsule of our RAF history, showing how the war effort was adapted to the threats of the time.
This is better known as the Suegun. And this was a gun pod that was fitted to the Phantom aircraft used by the RAF. And it consists of a 6-barrel M61A Vulcan cannon, which is a 20mm weapon. And the rest of it is basically the power to make that turn round and the ammunition. There's your 20mm rounds. This box contains 100 rounds. That's 1 second's worth of ammunition for this weapon.
1 second?
1 second, yeah.
Wow, that will cause some damage.
You don't want to be downrange when that goes off.
Ewan, tell me what we're walking towards now.
What we've got here is Yellow Sun Mark II, which is a hydrogen bomb.
The RAF's nuclear warhead. All bets were off if you came near this bomb. Fitted to V bombers, it was the British version of the US Red Snow.
This is the RAF's first operational hydrogen bomb. Luckily, this isn't actually a proper bomb, this is just a training round. Part of the reason it's got this flat face to it is that they don't want this big heavy bomb going supersonic when they drop it. So they wanted a bit of air resistance behind it. Gives the people in the aircraft a wee bit of time to get out of the area. And that is a 1.1 megaton device. So that is, well, putting it mildly, a big bang.
There's also some items that unearth a hidden side to the RAF's arsenal. During a metal shortage, they could trick the enemy out of repurposing their fuel tanks. So you'd expect a fuel tank to be made out of metal, but this one isn't.
It's not made of metal, it's made of paper. The idea being that if you are over enemy territory and you need to get rid of this fuel tank, you're not supplying them with vast amounts of steel or aluminium or anything like that. You might as well make it out of, paper, something that you can use once, dispose of, and it's not costing you a lot of money. You might be able to see a little bit here for straps, and that's just 2 bits of string. These were actually used as bombs towards the end of the war, because it's not just fuel that you can put in it, you can put things like napalm in a container like that, put an impact fuse on it, and you have an instant bomb.
So it's the paper fuel tank turned paper bomb.
That's the one, yeah.
That's incredible. And it's not just paper bombs or fuel tanks that the RAF used under a disguise. If they were captured as a prisoner of war, MI9 invented some items that could have been key to their survival. Talk to me about this section here, because this is giving spy era to me.
If you were captured, there's all kinds of items that you could be sent. So say someone sends you a pipe, that's great, looks pretty innocuous. Inside that pipe though was stored an escape map. And the great thing about these silk maps are, silk is quiet. So if you're sneaking away, you're not gonna get that rustling of paper that would give you away. Always useful to have a blade, and you're gonna have your blades taken away from you pretty quickly if you're apprehended. You might not have your comb taken away from you. So either you might have it with you, or it could pretty unsuspiciously. I mean, this looks like the type of comb you might find in your bathroom today.
Yeah.
But actually inside this plastic handle, there's a hacksaw blade.
No.
Yeah.
Just hidden in there. How would they get that out?
So you have to break it open.
Can I see how heavy that is?
Go ahead, yeah. I think it is a bit heavier, isn't it? You do.
There is a little bit to it, to be fair.
If you were thinking to look at it, you might catch it. But
there's no, I won't do it too hard, but
no rattling.
No rattle, so
no, it's right there embedded in the plastic.
Feels like a well-made comb,
exactly.
I guess.
You go, excellent. They're sending quality combs over.
Yeah, but actually, a weapon.
Exactly. A weapon, a tool, a means of escape.
Wow.
Incredibly versatile item.
From evading capture to taking down the enemy, this is the Red Top missile. It's an infrared air-to-air missile used by the English Electric Lightning, offering a longer range and more sensitive seeker head. It entered service in 1964.
You want to make sure that your nuclear deterrent is safe from the enemy's nuclear deterrent, and this is here to shoot down incoming bombers. The revolutionary feature of this one was you could actually attack the incoming aircraft head on, which is always an advantage.
Now, you might be wondering why there are thousands of items stored away here. Well, until recently, the RAF Museum in the West Midlands had no room for them. Soon, that will be changing as they expand the museum to include all of this. All 50,000 artefacts will be making their way to their new home to go on display to the public. Kirsty Chambers, BFBS Forces News, MOD Stafford. Thanks for watching. For more from BFBS Forces News, like and subscribe to our channel.